Well, as you guys all have probably seen covered across social media, Fender has announced the John Frusciante signature Stratocaster. This version is the big boutique-y one, a Masterbuilt model and a limited run at that, but we finally have a John Frusciante signature guitar officially from Fender, something I know a lot of you guys have been just dying to get your hands on. So today I'm going to discuss some of the details and other things we know about this guitar, and possibly another version they're going to make in the near future too. Now, the news first broke on Instagram between Fender and the Fender Custom Shop in a dual post, and then the Red Hot Chili Peppers also did a post as well, talking about the announcement of the guitar. And basically, the post just says, introducing the Fender Custom Shop Limited Edition Masterbuilt John Frusciante Stratocaster. Yep, it's here. For a limited run, master builder Paul Waller replicated the Chili Peppers guitarist's iconic Strat. All the dings, dents, and scars that cover this infamous guitar. It features a set of 360 style Strat pickups hand-wound by legend Abigail Yara. Learn more at the link in the bio. This was really cool to actually see them just break the noise kind of a little bit unexpectedly. All of a sudden, everyone woke up today, the 31st of October, happy Halloween by the way, that, okay, it's here. It's just announced out of nowhere. Normally there are rumblings that something is going to get released kind of soon or there's going to be an announcement. But with this, it kind of seemed to be from out of nowhere. And that's me even saying that. I didn't expect it to be released at least this week. Now, if you guys have been following my Frusciante content on the channel, I've been kind of discussing footage that we've seen of John playing live a guitar that very much resembles his 62 Stratocaster. The first kind of earliest versions, the Reliquware did not look anything like a custom shop or master build level quality, but more recent times where we saw him with another replica of the Strat, they definitely looked like they were honing in on the actual Reliquware on the guitars, and there were lots of speculation about, okay, what is John playing? Is it just a one-off that the custom shop made for him so that he has a backup of his guitar, or is it just another guitar and we're all crazy, or is it actually a prototype of a signature model? I made quite a few videos discussing this, and a lot of you guys in the comments thought I was crazy, thought that this was never going to happen, and it was, not gonna lie, pretty fun knowing it was for a fact going to be coming for a while now, and just kind of being like, okay, yeah, whatever, you know? We'll see when it comes out, and I'm happy to say too, the video that I made at the start of this year about the 3 most anticipated guitars for me personally all got released this year. The Epiphone Dave Grohl 335, the Frusciante Signature Strat, and that Charcoal Frost Faded Black Tea Satin's technically what it called for the finish of the Silver Sky. It's almost like I kind of knew that they'd all be released at some point this year. Almost, right? But it was just really fun, all joking aside, to kind of know that this was actually going to be coming and that a lot of you guys would be super excited about it, and just, of course, not really being allowed to say too much about it to give you guys just enough breadcrumbs that it's going to be arriving. But what you guys are probably thinking at this point is, okay, well, that's great. We're all excited that John Frusciante is getting a signature Strat, but we're not excited that it's a limited edition Masterbuilt run, because let's be honest, this guitar is not very accessible at all. The price, it's $20,000. So there's not going to be a lot of people who are actually going to be buying this guitar, and I'll just get it out of the way right now. There just might be a Mexican version arriving soon as well. Maybe they're following the Mike McCready thing where they released the bougie, more limited edition run Masterbuilt ultra high-end model, get everyone talking, and then produce a more affordable version down the line that is still very, very good, and a guitar certainly worth picking up. They just might be doing this, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving along now to the actual page from the Fender Custom Shop. Just got some overview I'll go through with you guys and talk about the specs as well, and kind of one thing I was hoping to maybe get a clue on, but we actually don't from this spec sheet. So more about the limited edition Masterbuilt John Frusciante Stratocaster. After joining the Red Hot Chili Peppers in 1988 at the age of 18, John Frusciante was quickly embraced by fans thanks to his unique blend of intricate, funky, soulful playing and unmistakable tone. Over the next 3 decades, Frusciante's 1962 Stratocaster became his go-to guitar. For this limited run, Fender Custom Shop senior master builder Paul Waller painstakingly replicated this cherished guitar from the faded and beautifully aged lacquer finish down to the heavily worn body contours. All the dings, dents, and scars that cover this infamous Strat give players a feeling of holding a true piece of rock and roll history in the palms of their hands. The highly resonant, select two-piece alder body, early 60s C-profile riffs-on maple neck, and slab rosewood fingerboard are perfect examples of prized golden-era Stratocaster appointments. The combination of those quintessential pre-CBS specs and the trio of Abigail Yara hand-wound Stratocaster pickups with an Illich Electronics hum canceling system gives players the same warm, clear, and expressive tones that are the foundation in Frusciante's signature sound. Other premium features include a 7¼ inch radius, 21 narrow, tall 6105 frets, vintage Strat wiring, a 5-way switch, vintage style synchronized trem, vintage style tuners, bone nut, wings, string tree with metal spacer, and certificate of authenticity. Now, here, the key thing that I'm getting from this is that they say it's a limited run, but they don't actually specify how many guitars they're going to be producing. Obviously, I'm going to use the John Mayer signature black one as an example, where they only produced 83 of those guitars. And then even if we switch over to the Mike McCready page, they actually mention for this limited 60-piece Masterbuilt run. So they flat out state in the description the exact number that they're producing. For the Frusciante one, they're not, which maybe, I don't know. I feel like this is something they would have been extremely clear to have stated when they announced the guitar. I feel like this isn't something that's going to be like added in later. Oh, by the way, we're only making 90 of these or whatever, right? So if they're saying it's just a limited run, I think to me that kind of means it's up in the air with how many orders potentially they get. I'm not sure exactly how things work from the Fender Custom Shop with guitars like this, if they build them all and then sell them all, or if this is a guitar that you're going to be able to kind of acquire and order. Because I think if you look at their page as well, the Chris Shiflett Telecaster with the P90s in it, that is still listed on there as a guitar you can purchase. So I'm not sure if it just means they're going to kind of keep making it for a year or however long, and then they'll just discontinue it. So however many get made is the run. If you guys know more information about exactly how these Masterbuilt limited edition series guitars are done, let me know in the comments down below, because this doesn't say anywhere. I haven't been able to find in any Instagram post, any description, nothing, the exact run that these guitars are. So you might actually have, if you're on the fence about it even, you might actually have some time to pick this guitar up. Not obviously a ton, but enough to kind of maybe debate and then pick one up. Now, when it comes to the specs of the guitar too, there's nothing that really jumps out at me. You kind of get the specs as you'd really expect for a, vintage Stratocaster style. The one thing that I wasn't expecting to get any information from, but just confirming, is that the pickups are just stated as custom shop hand-wound Abigail Yara 60s Stratocaster pickups in all 3 positions. I didn't know if we'd get any information that would maybe indicate what pickups are actually in Frusciante's 62 Strat, because that's always been a bit of a topic of debate in the Frusciante gear fan base community. But based on this, that gives us unfortunately nothing, but I wasn't expecting it to. If they were like, oh, and we've used the same Seymour Duncan SSL1s that are in Frusciante's 62, that would have been absolutely wild, and maybe a 0.000% chance that would have ever happened. But there are custom shop pickups for this guitar, like custom hand wound for this guitar. So be interesting if any of you guys get one of these guitars and we can actually get some readings as to the outputs of them. That would be really interesting. So hopefully I can get some of that information for you guys at a later date, just to maybe give you an indication of, okay, if you want a Frusciante style pickup, you kind of want something that matches, whatever it is based off the readings of the pickups. Wait, after I just said that, I just went back to the page and I'm rereading it again, and it doesn't actually say bespoke or custom pickups for this guitar. All it states that the trio of Abigail Yara hand-wound Stratocaster pickups, and in the specs, it says custom shop hand-wound Abigail Yara 60s Strat pickups. Well, those are pickups they've made before. I'm not wrong. Like, I'm looking at a reverb listing here, Fender Custom Shop, hand-wound 60s, Abigail Yara Strat pickups. These are pickups that they've made before. So these aren't... Am I crazy, guys? Are these pickups just ones that they've actually... Okay. This is interesting. To me, it looks like these are pickups that they've actually made before, just the 60s style that are hand-wound by her. So these... Again, I'm trying my best to actually see if this is real, and this is what's really happening for you guys. But to me, it looks like that these aren't even custom pickups in the guitar, which if that's the case, I'm sorry, but for 20 grand, that's pretty disappointing. If that's the case, that they're not custom wound based on the exact specifications of the pickups that are in John's. I don't care that his guitar is a 62 Stratocaster, so it'll have 62 Strat pickups. For 20 grand, duplicate the pickups exactly, because they're all going to have variances. Like, not every 62 Strat pickup or 60 Strat pickup is going to sound exactly the same and have the same values, especially from back then and with time. They're all going to be a little bit different. So that is one thing that I do think is a little bit disappointing, is if they are in fact actually just using pickups that they made before. So that to me is a bit of a miss. That's one miss, though, for a guitar that otherwise, looking at the images on the screen right now, that I'll put up for you guys too, looks incredible. I mean, the relic wear, the exact kind of pattern in the guitar, all the aging, everything looks stunning, as it should for the price. They really nailed the overall look of this guitar. At least I'm very happy to say that. In my opinion, this guitar, looks-wise, is pretty much like a 9.9, 9.8 out of 10. It looks absolutely spectacular and very much screams John Frusciante in that 62 Stratocaster. So for the looks-wise and everything, all the other specs, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Just, you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, the combination of those quintessential pre-CBS specs and the trio of Abigail Yara hand-wound Stratocaster pickups, and then they just state 60s. They don't say custom for John Frusciante. Because if we look for the Mike McCready Masterbuilt down here, it says custom shop hand-wound Mike McCready Strat. Those pickups in Mike McCready's Masterbuilt were wound specifically for that guitar. But it doesn't say that for the 62 Frusciante. So, unfortunately, guys, I'm going to go with it looks like they are just using pickups that are made before. They're going to be great pickups, don't get me wrong. But for a limited edition Masterbuilt Signature Stratocaster, I personally feel like it should have the pickups based on the exact ones that are in John's guitar. That's what it should have. So, yeah, that is an unfortunate miss in my opinion. Not ideal. Anyways, you guys, let me know in the comments down below if you plan on getting one. Like I said, this is not an accessible guitar for the vast majority of people, but even my friend JF Gear, who's been kind of following this whole process, and he's, you know, very much an expert in the John Frusciante gear space, he also posted about the guitar as well, and he mentioned, just going to his post here for you guys, he talked about Fender will be launching a cheaper version of John's signature Stratocaster. The guitar is getting built at Fender's Mexican factory, but it's going to be under the custom shop supervision is what he's saying. And they're meant to actually be a step up from the Mike McCready made in Mexico Stratocaster, which is a really great guitar. So if the more affordable version is meant to be a little bit of a step above that Mike McCready one, you're looking at a way more accessible guitar that's going to look fantastic, play really good, and sound damn good too. So don't stress out too much that you might not be able to get your hands on a Frusciante Signature Stratocaster because of this crazy, insane Masterbuilt version that they did. My friend JF Gear is reporting something similar, and you know, I'm not saying that it's a guarantee that it's going to be made, but history does indicate that this is the pathway that Fender is going to go down, like they did with the Mike McCready Stratocaster. So if I was a betting man, I would bet that within maybe 4 to 5 months, springtime at the latest maybe, we would probably see something from Fender talking about the made in Mexico guitar. So we'll have to wait and see. And of course, I'll cover that on another video as well. But yeah, really, really cool to see them actually do this, and the fact that it's been a guitar people have been wanting for so long. I know Frusciante had said no before to making a signature Stratocaster, and based on what my friend JF Gear mentioned as well, it was mainly his guitar tech Henry that made it happen. And he was kind of the one working with the Fender custom shop to actually give them the proper specs and kind of oversee the guitar that would become this production model. So massive props to Henry to help facilitate that and actually, be the guy, from what JF Gear is saying at least, did a lot of the kind of the legwork to help assist them and give them the correct details and kind of guidance into making this. So yeah, all the credit and props to Henry for making that happen, because, this is really exciting that we finally have gotten something, and John is a guitar hero for so many people. He deserves to have a signature guitar. So yeah, in all honesty, this is just a really awesome thing all around. I didn't mean to be negative when it came to the pickups, but that's just my opinion. If you're making a Frusciante signature Stratocaster, it should have, and it's at the Masterbuilt level for that price point. I would want pickups that are measured and based on the exact ones that are in John's guitar, not just a really good 60s pickup. I want the ones based on his guitar. So it'll be interesting to see if anything comes out to clarify that, but just based on what the McCready page says versus this one, fortunately, I don't think it's looking very good. But other than that, absolutely lovely, absolutely killer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Appreciate you guys as always, and I'll check in with you in the next video.